Well, if you're gonna do a video about things you love, might as well do a video about the things you don't like too. So this is gonna be that video on my 2017 ZL1 Camaro. In the car, my first dislike about this thing, and I guess it's my number one, is the multimedia system in this car. Like, we're in the stone age of multimedia systems in cars today. In 2017, look how blocky this looks. Like a child's, eye reader or something, some kind of child's toy. It does have good, responsive touchness on it, but just the menus, and look at the radio screen. I mean, this looks like something from 2003. I really don't know why this is not more advanced than what it is. I mean, this is horrible. And then the lack of some of the features that you get, even adjusting radio presets, tone settings. Look, I mean, it looks so blocky and generic for everything that you do on this radio. Looks blocky and generic. I come from the Dodge world, and the Uconnect system is amazing compared to this. You can't view any gauges on this. You basically can't do anything with this infotainment screen in this car. It's ridiculous. The center screen here has got more usability and functionality than what the radio does in 2017. And in 2018, 19, you get the same kind of deal. I think 19, they've updated the UI a little bit and made it look a little less, child's playish. But this is my number one most hated thing, is this infotainment system and the lack of features and functions, and just the general way it looks it pisses me off. The next thing on the list of dislikes is going to be the low visibility. It's not as horrible as I thought it would be, but there's huge blind spots in this car, and lots of them, and they don't really become apparent until you're trying to back up. The reverse camera doesn't really do it justice, and you're sitting kind of low. My neck is about the top of this door panel, and when my wife is sitting in the car, her nose is about the top of the door panel. She looks like a midget sitting in this car, because the seats are so low, the door's so high, and the side windows are almost non-existent. And as Riley pointed out in his, my head is bigger than this damn window. So that has a concern and poses problems when I go to ATM, drive-throughs, anything. It's pretty horrible. But as far as looking out the front, it's good. Looking through the back, it's not really that bad. And being the car of what it is, I find myself not giving a shit about not being able to see out of this car, because it has 650 horsepower. So you forget about all that stuff pretty quick most of the time. But if you ever get stuck in traffic, or every time you're backing up, you're quickly reminded of the low visibility in this car. But that's part of, owning a sports car. Next thing on my list is really twofold. First, I hate that Chevrolet has the reverse lights come on when you get out of the car. I hate that on every Chevrolet. Have you ever been in a parking lot in another car looking for a parking spot, and somebody gets out of a Chevrolet vehicle and the reverse lights are on? You think they're about to back out, but no, they're not. They just left the vehicle, and the lights stay on for, some people have them set for like a minute, the maximum minute and a half, whatever it is. It's annoying. Anyway, the thing that I don't like about this car is the red tail lights, okay? The red tail lights on a ZL1 shouldn't be there. If you got a ZL1, you should get the dark smoke tail lights just like the 1LE has. I understand that you want some differences between the regular ZL1 and a 1LE, but Jesus, there is enough difference between a 1LE and a non-1LE car. There is a whole lot of difference in a 1LE than a standard ZL1. So I believe that every ZL1 should get the dark smoke taillights in it. I do not like the way this red looks in the back. The tail lights are too damn expensive. I don't know if I'm even gonna buy a set of them because it's like 500 bucks for a set of tail lights. I don't really like the aftermarket options. There's one that I kind of like that has the turn signal up in the top, but from what I've seen in videos, the turn signal comes on every time you press the brakes, and that's stupid. I don't like it. So they don't really have any tint options. The taillight's too intricate. As far as what they look like at night and the design of the light itself, the way the light looks and curves, I really do like that. But having the red tail lights like this in the back, I don't like it. Next thing on my list is the softness of the factory paint. This paint is so soft. I don't know if it's every car or every color, but on this black, if you touch this thing too hard with a towel, you're leaving some scratches. I'm talking about you have the finest Korean microfiber there is available. And if you put a little bit too much pressure on it, it's scratching the shit out of this paint. It is crazy. That's why I went ahead and paint corrected and ceramic coated this car with Seaquartz UK, because the paint is, I believe just driving it down the road and air particles rubbing across it probably scratches this paint. It's nuts. I've never had a car that is this easy to mar the finish on it. And I've had other black cars. I've had black BMWs, which actually had really hard paint. And I had a black Mustang, and its paint was kind of a medium. It didn't scratch that easy, but it would scratch. This right here, the paint on this car, like I said, I don't know if it's every color or every Chevrolet, but this one with this black is nuts. Super easy, super soft paint. Next thing on my dislike, now this is a love-hate relationship because I love this heads-up display, and y'all seen that in my things I love video. But the part about it that I don't like is that there's really no way to switch it. It doesn't change with your headlights. When your headlights come on, it stays the same brightness. So that means at night, when it gets dark, it's bright as shit shining in your face, and you have to go over here to your button, and you have to turn the brightness down on it. And then if you forget and leave the brightness down, like see it's dim right now, if I went out in the sun during the day, I wouldn't even be able to see it at all. So I have to turn the brightness back up on it so I can see it during the day, and it's just aggravating. I imagine if I drove this car every day and, you know, had to deal with this often, it would probably piss me off a little bit more. But it's just kind of aggravating right now that the times that I do drive it at night, because more than likely, most of the time I drive it during the day. So when I get in it at night, I don't really pay attention to it in the garage because the lights are on. When I get out on the roadway, it's just super bright in my face, and I have to reach up here, and it's just kind of annoying to have to change that every time you drive at night or during the day. And then you get back in it the next morning and drive, and it's so dim you can't even see it. So it's just a little thing that kind of gets on my nerves about the car. For the next thing that I really dislike about this car, back here at the back, it's gonna be the factory spoiler design. I really think they could have done better with the ZL1. I don't know, it's personal preference really. A lot of people like this spoiler. I believe it's an option on some of the SS's. But for the ZL1, I think that either A, it needs to be about an inch taller for the regular ZL1 and remain painted. You can be another inch or two taller and more set back from the back of the car. Because it follows the lines very well, but if it was back an inch and another inch or two taller off the car, that would make it look a whole lot better. Or if I like the SS1LE kind of lip spoiler that they have on SS1LEs, and it would look very well with the mosaic black to match the accents. Or they could have kept it a satin black. I mean, it doesn't matter. I think the SS1LE rear deck lip spoiler looks a whole lot better than the ZL1 spoiler. And I know that's personal opinion, but that's what all these videos about that everybody has for the loves and the hates, is their own personal opinion. So the last dislike that I'm gonna list on this video about this car would be the low RPM throttle response from the factory. It sucks. I've heard that it's a lot better on the A10, that it's less noticeable, but there's a noticeable dead spot right off of idle with this car that I haven't experienced with any other vehicle that I've driven that has a manual transmission. It's crazy. I had a problem where when I first got the car, there's a huge learning curve on driving this manual transmission over any other manual transmission that I've ever driven. And I've probably had 20 different ones from all different manufacturers, from Nissans, you know, to Mustangs, to Ford Escort that I had, pickup trucks, you know, all different kind of vehicles. This right here was the most difficult to figure out how to get to drive. Now, one thing that made it a whole lot better and pretty much did away with that dead spot is the Solar Performance ported throttle body. It's a ported factory throttle body. I have a video on it. I'll throw like a little card or something up in this video if you're interested in it. That really helped me out. And then Solar Performance also has a throttle controller that you can use and put on that's relatively cheap. I think it's like 75 bucks. Have a video for that one too. Put it up in the cards as well if you're interested in the install of that. But everybody knows what throttle controllers do. There's smooths out the pedal feel, and there's about 40 different variations with the driving modes that are on the car and the different modes for the throttle controller. You can go from mild, or actually you can go from stock and use it as a pass-through and just keep the stock pedal feel. You can retard it back and have like a super snow mode that super takes away all the throttle response almost, if that's what you want to do. Let's say if it's raining or snowing, and you can go all the way to wild extreme. They have like a crazy mode that makes it super crazy throttle response that they don't even really recommend that you use. But you can, if you want it, it's there. The option's there. So great throttle controller. So you can mitigate some of that stuff using throttle body throttle controllers, but from the factory, the low end throttle response on this car is horrible. It sucks. Just blipping the throttle to take off is almost impossible to do. And it's even hard after doing things to try to mitigate it and calm that throttle response issue down. So the whole drive-by-wire system super slow on this car, unlike any other vehicle I've had. That's one of the big things about this car that was aggravating when I first got it, is the car will damn near go dead when I'm trying to start off and I'm not even on a hill. It makes me look like I'm a newbie at driving manual transmissions. Those are the dislikes I have about the car. Could I nitpick some more stuff? Probably so. But, like I said at the beginning of the video, whatever you drive, there's going to be certain things that you dislike about it. It doesn't matter what it is. I mean, I'm sure people that drive around Lamborghinis have plenty of complaints about different things they have on Lamborghinis. So it doesn't matter if it, so those are just my things that I dislike about my 2017 ZL1. If yours differ, if you got some questions or comments, concerns about some of the things that I said in this video, drop some comments down below. I appreciate each and every person that's subscribed to my channel. There will be more videos to come. I'm actually looking maybe to trade this M6 for a A10. I don't know. I guess I'm getting older, and I thought I would really enjoy being able to shift gears again, but it turns out that it's kind of played out for me. And the A10 shifts a whole lot faster. I missed the way that my Charger Scat Packs shifted. Has an awesome 8-speed transmission in the Scat Packs. And I heard these 10 speeds are even better. A friend of mine's got a 2017 Z06, and it is a A10 automatic, and it is pretty badass. And I missed the remote start. Jesus, I never thought I'd miss the remote start so much, but I really do. Call me spoiled. I don't give a shit. I miss it. Thanks everybody for subscribing. Remember to turn the bell on for notifications for different videos. I appreciate each and every one of you that watch these videos, share them, and comment on anything. I do these videos for the people that watch them, of course, not for myself. I don't do this for my own health. So I appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching.